Okay, this should be fun. If we can actually load in, of course. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Yeah, all good. It's been a little while since the last time I've been here. Well, not really, it's been the same amount of time as always, but you know. Hey, we're back, and welcome to Australia, boys. I think we're going to see a very interesting race here. Should be quite good for most racing, though, because it is almost essentially confirmed points for just about everybody involved. It's going to be very good for them, having essentially no competition for fighting for points. It's only one driver is going to lose out in points, and I believe that may actually be a retirement, because I have seen this track actually catching out a few higher tier drivers. There we go. Larson now, Torre, first one out on track. With AlphaTauris here, going to be strong competitors for the win, along with the two Red Bulls around here, I'd say. It's definitely going to be a difficult fight for the win around here, and just the podium, I think. It's going to be some strong competition coming out of the woodwork. Who that's from, though, I couldn't really tell you right now, because there's going to be, there's inevitable there's going to be at least one short performance, I think. So there's definitely been a couple recently in just any tier, but I think we should see that on this weekend, or at least let's hope so. So we makes it interesting, and I'm not sure this is going to be the most interesting Grand Prix. Definitely can't top some of the previous wins we've had. There we go. 2 more corners, or 1 more corner now. Larson will do the first lap out. As long as Larson doesn't invalidate here, he's going to be setting the full time to beat. Well, he may have issues with traffic up ahead there. Armored Kevin in the way. He's pulled off to the side nicely though, and has given Larson a little bit of a tow, which should benefit him. I'm sure he appreciates that. Shame he couldn't give a little wave as he was going by, but he appreciates him. Only M&T Trocker and Boggy opting for putting on the mediums as well, though. We've had a little switch of drivers, it seems, though, with Boggy over here in the Ferrari replacing Chemical Wolf, who used to fill this seat, partnering M&T Trocker, but seems there's a little bit of change there. To see if Boggy can perform as well as Chemical Wolf, if not better. Ferrari has had a bit of a lackluster season so far, just getting caught out or a bit unlucky, or just sometimes just off the pace, really. So maybe they can pull it back with, what is it, 5 races to go, I'm pretty sure. Lars setting the full time of 122.177. That is a very solid start to the session. Definitely see improvements from there. But be interesting to see who's doing the improving. Maybe for this round and a laugh, it might be Bonnie here. Yeah. Not isolated with Blair time of a 123.766. And Bonnie beats it with a 22.582. Ooh, but Mr. Silence, I was about to say it's close grid, but not anymore, with a 21.555. Just over a second faster than P3 there. Mr. Silence always showing up for the very solid pace around just about every circuit we've seen him at so far. Always been fighting in that front row. It's going to be an interesting spectacle for what he does around here. Boggy with a 134.4, not exactly the lap he was probably aiming for. 11 seconds off P4 there. Yikes. Let's hope he can improve on that at least a bit. Good lap from Ermagerd Kevin there for the 22.464. An M&T drop on a lap right here. Purple sector 1, very good start to this lap. Could be looking at a new pole setter this season. Gonna nail this chicane though, which is one of the worst places on the track for incidents and collision stuff. Taking it a bit cautious there, not quite flat out. It's a good plan. Teammate getting out of the way from there. I'm sure he's got all the potential in the world to improve. Not the best exits out there. Hopefully he can make it up though. Gonna get top 5. Ooh, P7 with a 24.096. No, that was not a great lap from NT Trophy there, 1.3 seconds off P6. He's definitely going to be hoping to improve from that lap. Seems like Penny. What we've trained here, the lappers. Purple sector 2. Penny's hitting gonna be. Ooh, P2 with a 121.987. Just. That was a shot from its Pemi there. Never usually one to start that high up the grid, but it's good to see somebody new up there. Hopefully he can improve a bit more and take the fight to Mr. Silence there, with the only other person getting the 121s there. Judging by the comments in the chat there, I'm gonna assume there's some teamwork going on between the Trockers here. It should be great to have a tier 1 driver supporting you in something like this. Definitely gonna be a solid advantage for M&T Trocker there, where this means you can perform a little better. Speaking of performing better, let's see what Connor over here can do. Very interesting in the tire choices though, with only 3 opting for the medium compound. Obviously the best out of those being isolated with Blair and P7. It'd be a great starting position if he could improve maybe 2 or 3 positions and start in those mediums. He could be set up for a very nice finish. It's just whether he's got that pace to eke out He does not need much though. If he can find 3/10, he will be up to P4. So, interesting, but Connor giving up on his lap early. Obviously not thinking it has the potential for what he wants. Not Boggy into the pit. Boggy did improve though from his 1:34 time to a 1:23.7. Still not quite on it. Hopefully the Ferraris can pick it back up here. Let's hop on board with a fellow Scotsman, Bonnie Clad over here. Purple sector 2. 2/10 up on his previous time already. Very good. That should set him up to P4 if he managed to hold that through this final sector here and don't validate. Some good throttle control there to keep it on track and keep it on the line. Oh, and it's going to be P4. Great time from Bonnie Clad there. Just barely missing out on the 21s. Speaking of the 21s though, I didn't quite notice Larsh up to P1 there with a 21.513. Just by just less than half a tenth beating out Mr. Silence. Good performance from Larsh there. My hat's off to you. Although Mr. Silence is no way he's taking this line down. Always one to fight, not necessarily on track, but just fighting for whether it be the win or pole. Let's see what his retort is going to be like here. Oh, and it's straight back up to P1, no contesting, with a 21.045. My god, what a lap. Thought it was quick when he said a 21.5 when everybody else was on 22s. Now he said a 21.0 when the second best is on a 21.5. This man's just in a league of his own at this rate. How is he still tier 4 here? My hat's off to you, Mr. Silence, though. One heck of a performance. See what Kevin can do here. Finally improving from 56. Ooh, it is an improvement. Not the biggest gem, but it's definitely an improvement. 21.171. Well, it was actually quite a large improvement. He cut off almost 3/10 in that lap there. Just wasn't really sort of like too much closeness there with that field. A section of the field. Let's see if Isolate Leclerc is going to improve here. He has flicked onto a set of softs, so he could be going and meeting his teammate Large up in P2 there. And he does. Oh, look at those times. Both of them just almost identical. Large with a 121.513 and Isolate Leclerc with a 121.517. That is some great skill level there from both those AlphaTauri drivers. Obviously very level drivers. Obviously we'll see this transfer into the fight and maybe they can take it to Mr. Silence under race conditions. Up on board with Connor right now. Connor's going to be very intent on getting a time before these 4 minutes are over, because right now he's starting on the back row of the grid and he's the only driver outside the points. All he has to do is beat a 24 dead from M&T Trocker right now. only be able to do it though. He's only going to have about one chance to get this lap in. You won't have the time to pit and go back out again. He's got to be setting a lap here. And that's at 1:31.799 and immediately invalidates his next lap. Hopefully he's got fuel to go again, and if not, then that's Connor's locked in at starting 11th on the grid there. M&D Trotter has been saved. Purple sector 2 there from Moniclad on this lap. His goal is definitely going to be getting in those 21s and hopefully passing Lars here. As Lars hasn't been able to best his time, but Isolate with Flair does with a 1:21.364. That's quite a high bar. He's closing in on Mr. Silence, but obviously on and off. When he moves up to P4. Good lap time from Bonnie there with a 21.6. Just about half the field now have got into the 21s. I think this is Boggy's first lap out, or first non-invalidated lap so far in stock compounds. Losing a bit there and just not quite able to continue his lap after that though. Boggy is going to have a chance to go ahead, and it's going to be all about this lap for him here. Grabbing that apex nice and early. Apex to apex, we're there, keeping his foot planted all the way through. Ooh, and that was just too much of a corner cut there. That's his lap invalidated. His chances are over. Bada there doing a little bit of rallying. Yeah, rightly so, Connor. That was just a bit of unluckiness and just, yeah, it wasn't working for you. Well, hopefully you can improve during the race. That's going to be where your focus at now. Speaking of focus, Johnny up to P2. The Red Bulls are in a 1-2 locking at the front row right now with a 21.339. Just barely squeaking out Isolate with Flair. Let's see what lap Kevin's going to be putting in here. No, or not. Lars seems to have went for a little spin around the track. Well, that's it. That's going to be your final order. Top 4 dominated by Honda-powered cars when this silence. P1, Johnny. P2, Isolate with Flair. P3, Lars. P4, Bonniclad. P5, Pemmikill. P6, Ermagerd Kevin. P7, Bada. P8, Boggy. P9, M&T Trocker. P10, and Connor. P11. Top 6 there, having a really solid qualifying session there. Back from 7 to 11, just not quite there. Not quite getting into the 21s, as they probably hoped. But it's the result on It's the race result that counts, not the qualifying, so have to see. It's a absolutely rapid time for Mr. Silence there, though, with a 1:21.045. Ridiculously fast. Of course, ignoring Connor, sorry mate. Very close session though, with 3 seconds between first and last. It's what you like to be seeing. You like it when it's close. Both the Ferraris opting for mediums on the start though. Shall be interesting for them. And Connor may also join them with that strategy, as he does have the only person for a free choice. Yeah, getting some inside info in the chat there from the Ferrari strategist that it's going to be a one stop for them, just in case anybody else is listening who's driving. One stop for the Ferraris. This game's great for load times. I love how quickly it loads every single time. It's great, you know. There we go. Get everything up and sorted. That's a bit hopeful, don't you think, LT Rocker? Hoping for a Ferrari 1-2. There is the potential for it, but obviously the Red Bulls have shown amazing pace here. There's your pit stop, one stop, lap 18 to 11 for hard compounds, or somewhere between lap 11 or 7 and 16 for medium compounds. Depending on which way around you do it. Looks like a nice sunny warm day here though in Australia, so clearly no risk of rain. Or at least I hope not. I'm gonna have a flash flood appear out of the sea. But let's assume that that's not gonna happen, so should be very interesting because it will just be entirely down to raw dry pace here. Right now, Mr. Stance is showing he does have the most pace around here by some margin. Tier 1, or sorry, not Tier 1, Turn 1. It's going to be very interesting though around here. We're getting underway. Five red lights. And they're going. A little bit of wheel spin on that launch for Mr. Silence there. Great start. Bonnie moving quite sharply there. Up to P3. Not a great start for Isolate with Flair there. Not quite sure why he's down and back to P10. Connor already up to P8. Boggy down to P11. Temi down to P6. M&T Trocker up to P8, passing Connor. Bada up to P6 here. Oh. Ooh, that's some contact there. Not the best re-entry from Kevin there. Some very close racing. Kevin going to try and send it up the inside here. And he's just blocked Bada from turning in. There was extra room Bada could have used on the curb. Bada taking it nice and slow, potentially having wing damage. Marsh making a dive on Bonnie through here, but Bonnie just turns in on him, no mercy. Oh, that sent Lurch all the way down the order. Only Temi, who's apparently had an instant, and that I've managed to miss behind him. Not for long though. Just those hot tyres, Lurch, you gotta watch out. It's maybe an early pit and just straight onto the hards and try and take them to the end for... Well, now entirely out of the points. Ooh. Johnny reclaiming that P2 off Isolate there. Isolate falling hot and tow. Blair struggling a bit on the exit there, Bonnie losing massively from that. Let's have a little look back here. The Ferraris have done pretty well. Maybe that 9th and 10th to 1-2 prophecy said by LT Rocker may actually come true at this rate if they keep this up. Both up 2 positions already. Connor also joining them. Definitely trying to haul back some points after that horrific qualifying. Looks like Boggy's looking for a move here on Bada. He late brakes, he sends it up the inside, he's cautious. Good calm composed move, but just didn't quite have the exit to fight Bada there. Maybe he'll try again with DRS. Oh, Bada snaps a little bit too wide onto the grass and he's got the move on him. That was good focus from Boggy there and smart driving. Bonnie, first penalty of the session with 3 seconds, multiple warnings. Bonnie having a little bit too much touching and corner cutting. It's been a great race so far for Boggy. Let's have a little look at what positions have changed. Yeah, top 3 staying the same. Bonnie Clad up 1 position, Ermiger Kevin up 2 positions, Boggy up 3 positions, Bada up 1 position, MT Trocker up 2 positions, Connor up 2 positions, Temi down to 4 and Lurch down 7. Not great right now. We still have plenty of time though. 25 more laps to see what can change. Although something that doesn't seem to change and is always a fixture of this tier is Mr. Silence just running away with it in that Red Bull. It is a level of domination that is almost equivalent to Tool in Tier 1 at some circuits. He is just leaving. There is no place he's wanting to be more than further up the road away from whoever is P2. As long as he keeps this on the track, which I'm anticipating he does, this is going to be an easy tier P1 here from Mr. Silence. We've got a wee very evenly spaced pack here though. of the two Ferraris, Bada and Connor, all just running around very calmly. Bada the only outlier here that isn't on medium, so he's going to have to pit early and lose out to both of them behind him. They may actually have that earlier with them getting DRS. Kevin may actually be lining up to do something on Bonnie here. He's not had the cleanest of races, let's put it, but I think Kevin may be able to get away without getting turned in on like the previous overtake attempts. Oh, and I was just not paying attention. That wasn't even a late break. That was just an odd instant from Kevin there. So he forgot what he was doing, and it was coming up to a corner. Just wanted to keep on going. Overestimated how much his brakes would do and tried passing Bono with the late brake, nearly taken out. Thank God he moved out of the way though. M&T Trocker's round though, that exit just absolutely wiping him out. Luckily it's not a retirement, but that is a lot of effort gone. Back down to P10 with Lars closing in from behind on the fresh sort of same duration soft actually. So he may have to be cautious about that. Isolate with Flair early into the pits though, aiming for the undercut. He was in P3 but he's now down to P9. M&T Trocker into the pits as well, matching Isolate with Flair's undercut, eventually trying to make ground that lost ground and some. Seems like a good strategy call there. Grid has gotten a rather spaced out right now though. I think we will be looking at Kevin for a while here as he attempts to close back in on Bonnie after his failed kamikaze attempt. Seems maybe he can get it right this time, get the position, because this is for a podium now with Isolate with Flair back in the field. Isolate just recently pitted here, Jose and Penny. He's just really got screwed at the start. Didn't quite see how, and he's just not quite picked it back up since then. Definitely going to help Isolate though with this DRS and trying to catch up. Good late break there. Penny immediately diving up the inside again, wanting that position back. Isolate just strong defense. And LT Rocker in the chat there saying it wasn't a part of their strategy. Well, I think it was more of a change of strategy and the right strategy call to make once it changed. Spinala is never the goal, but it is part of the process. Ooh, and that is Bada in the wall doing almost identical to what M&T Trocker did. Yeah, going slightly quicker though. That's put him down to P9. And he's round again. I think that may be a scratch that there as he's doing a Daniel Ricciardo at Baku and doing a 3-point turn. And he's gone again. It's given M&T Trucker all the time to catch up and get back in the points here. Ooh, a little bit of a knock to the wall there. And caught it this time. We're going to tuck into the pits. He is joining Temmie in the pits. Temmie opting for the hard compound, which is just about the only choice if you have started on the soft, or else you're going to do a 2-stop, which will be probably more of a time loss than a gain unless you have some serious pace like Mr. Silence up front there. But I'm not sure he's one to risk it. I think he'll content with his pace in the hards. That's put Bada down to P11 there. M&T Trucker back up into the points. It's not a lot, but it's something. HV Connor, though, up with 3 seconds. There's 3 drivers with 3 seconds now, it seems, each. Boggy's doing really well right now. This could be a very solid points finish for him coming back from P9, or coming up from P9 to, well, once these guys pit, which should be soon. If not this lap, the next lap, he will put him up to P1 as he is on those medium compounds. And he's got to make the most of them while he is in the lead and try and close as much of the gap to try and retain as many positions as possible. Lars and Temmie here seem to have an inseparable bond this race so far. Sticking nice and close together through thick and thin. Nicely with Flair and his fresh mediums line up a move on Connor. And just sweeping by Connor. Just pressured him into the grass and just made the move look easy. Well, that's going to be Johnny and Ermengard into the pits. Johnny opting for the hards, and Ermengard going in for hards as well. That's Boggy up to P2 now. Temmie 3 seconds. Like Isolated's undercut has worked so well so far, but it can keep going. It must be nice to dominate your tier in such a manner. Silence here with a 16-second gap. By lap 10. Like he has already lapped Bada back here. It's going to be down to Bonnie here, carrying McLaren right now. After that, less than stellar crash from Mada there, mimicking M&T Trucker just 2 laps earlier. Bit of a wide line there, Bonnie. Watch out, the grass may look inviting, but it's going to throw you straight into those. Got the run on corner here. going to be too far back to make a dive stick though, but he's going to close in massively. Hope for the exit, a little bit of Wilson, but he still gets the run done, and he's all the track getting so close to the wall, and Connor just tucks out of his way. Clearly outpaced. Connor late braking there, trying to keep up, and just missing entirely, costing himself time. I think he's got a different person to worry about now, with Johnny closing quickly in the background there. I think I'm doing exactly what Connor did. Boggy 5-second time penalty, but he's decided to pit. Boggy's decided to pit for softs already. Interesting choice. Sure, that's going to be a strong strategy call. That undercut though has worked wonders for Isolate with Flair, who is right on the back of Mr. Silence here, but it's just whether he can actually do anything while Mr. Silence tires are cold. So as soon as he heats those up, he's going to have more pace and more grip than Isolate, so it's all about what he can do this lap. Larsh and Hemi still right with each other, very similar pace-wise on these hard compounds. Not leaving each other at all. Closing in on Connor though, who's recently pitted. Well, I wouldn't say a race needs a safety car. We don't want to wish anybody retiring, but it would definitely help close up the field and shake it up a bit. I will not disagree with you that it will do that, but I'm not going to hope for that. Let's see though, with Boggy's very interesting strategy call, opting for the softs this early when he started on mediums, whether he can use these to their fullest and close the ground to try and make the stop worth it. He was sitting in P2 previously. This is his long ride back up there. Johnny 3-second time penalty. Have a wee look at the penalty situation, see what's going on. Bonnie Clad in P3 with 3 seconds, Johnny in P4 with 3 seconds, Boggy in P5 with 5 seconds. That came from speed in the pit lane. Armagerd Kevin penalty free, Connor with 3 seconds, Large penalty free, Pemi 3 seconds, and M&T Trocker 6 seconds. Mr. Silence, fast lap of the race there with a 125.206. A very quick time from him there. He does have some nice clean air to enjoy and do that. Not too much close racing right now. I think we are going to see Johnny trying to close in on Bonnie here. Oh god, it's happening. Exactly what I didn't want to happen. Bonnie and Johnny. Oh no. Connor 3 seconds there, adding to the list. I think that puts Connor up to 6 seconds now. Australia's never one track to produce the best racing, really. Boggy with 3 seconds there, that's going to put him up to 8 seconds. Yeah, Australia never quite provides the close racing like some other tracks. And there's when you do get close racing, there's not too many interesting overtaking opportunities or just overtaking opportunities in general. So it does get a bit boring. I've also noticed that quite a few people agree with me that the track doesn't especially feel too nice. It's a little bit jittery and clunky. You go from a nice smooth wavy section to a hard 90 degree or something like that. Talking about hard 90 degree, isolate with Flair getting a bit overzealous and just having no grip through there. You can see the cargo light halfway through and just clouting the wall. Let's hope that's no damage for him. Let's try and see. It is damage. He's missing a right end plate. That's going to slow him down massively in the left-handers. We'll see, just going for this tight, fast chicane over here. On the entry, he should struggle massively. Yeah, having to go as soon as possible and just not quite making that exit. If he's planning to pit again, which I think he may be, it would definitely be a smart option to change that wing. It will cost him time and potentially a podium here, but it's just a little bit of the car losing it and couldn't change much. Yeah, immediately tucking to the pits. It's going to be an interesting choice, because if he does opt for softs, which I think he may be doing, he is going to have to stretch those quite long. Both 14-ish laps. 13 laps, sorry. No, he's opted for another set of mediums. Interesting. Well, that's dropped him down to P6, and Bonnie Cladd, the Scotsman, is up to P2, with Johnny directly behind, fighting for that P2 and P3. Both equal on penalties, I'm pretty sure. Bonnie's due another pit stop though, and I don't think Johnny is with those cards. Only losing out a little bit on the exit there, but getting going almost immediately. Clearly got a strong throttle responsiveness on that setup. Boggy up to P4 though, really carrying Ferrari right now. Up 5 positions from where he started. It's been an excellent drive from him. Timothy Trocker just a bit unlucky. Well, a bit more than a bit. Bonnie ducking to the pits. That's an interesting call. I think that may be opting for mediums there. Yeah, M&T Trocker just being so unlucky, just straight back. At least he's got points over. Oh, sorry. That's not a comment on the race. I'm not getting tired of the race. Don't take it as an insult. Yeah, just a bit tired myself. Kevin getting the position on Bonnie in the pits. Yeah, but M&T Trocker is still not quite as unlucky as Bada here, who is getting lapped, I believe, for the second time. I'm not even sure it's him racing. Oh, no, I think it is. Yeah, Mr. Silence sailing by for what I believe is the second time, unless he unlocked himself in the pit cycle. Well, that was a very blatant corner cut. Good thing he's not fighting for points or anything like that. Yeah, let's go Kevin. It's been a solid drive from the new boy to a tier 4 here. So if he can get a podium on his first outing, that'll be very nice to see. Boggy is still due a pit though, so it should be there for him. I believe Catsby's mentoring Kevin. I think we may have a rivalry between LT Rocker here and Catsby, the two mentors in the chat. Could be a very nice podium though for Kevin. Just got to keep it clean and keep it on the pace, and because Boggy is going to struggle to take those to the end, it will actually be impossible, pretty much. obviously will have to pit and try and make this up again, but it's not going to work for him. It should be a nice midfield finish though for him. At least some points. Cat's a spin, coach. Funny, nice joke, finger hook. Oh, Boggy running a little bit wide there, backing off. Ooh, just catch an isolated flare there, dumping out the exit a little bit too wide. And that's going to be a rear left right off the car. You can see there, went a bit too wide on that exit, grabbed the grass, it just chucked him and went around backwards. Hashtag fingerhook is Jeff, yep. And hashtag isolate with flare is out. Not even bringing out a safety car either to close up the grid in these final stages. That could have been very helpful for somebody like Boggy, but apparently not. Yep, hashtag everybody in the points. Or nearly. Gotta wait till Bada passes him. As long as Bada does not retire before he gets to where he died. Yay, everybody in the points. Woo! Sorry, isolate with flare. Just a little bit too much on that exit there, mate. Lost it, and I know there's pretty much nothing you can do to fight it when it goes like that right there. If it just goes the wrong way, then it's gone. So you've got to be so careful on that exit there. Ban a 3-second time penalty. But yeah, really not great for him. Very interesting compounds though with Boggy, only one on softs. Mr. Silence in first with the mediums, Bonnie Plaid in fifth with the mediums, and Bada in 10th with the mediums, taking them the longest by far out of anybody. Been on these since lap 9. Or it may actually be technically lap 8 because he has a lap down. Connor may end up getting a bit of competition for this P6 he's sitting in right now. Let's have another little penalty update, see what's going on here. Johnny in second with 3 seconds, Boggy in P3 with 8 seconds. He's going to be serving that 5 seconds when he does pit, because there's no way he's going to the end, and that's going to cost him a lot of time. Oh, looks like Bada had some issues there. Yeah, Bonnie with 3 seconds there, Connor with 6 seconds, Temmie with 6 seconds, M&T Trocker still in 6 seconds, and Bada with 3 seconds. Yeah, let's go on board with something new to SRL. It gives us an insight. Nice run through there, not grabbing too much apex in the exit. Ooh, just missing that braking point though, and not quite grabbing that apex, running wide and not great there. Good apex through there, making sure not to overturn like Isolated with Flare did through there and flouted the wall. Oh, wrong thing. There we go. Very nice helmet, Kevin. LT Rocker keeping you in check there, Catsby. Yeah, Bonnie's been here for a few races. He's shown some very good speed sometimes, but he's kind of lacked a bit of racecraft now and again. That's Boggy into the pits now, opting for another set of softs. Clearly, is the obvious choice. But that has put Kevin up into the podium. Been a very interesting race so far, with some definitely standout performers. It's gonna have, yeah, Bonnie Clad's quickly closing, and Kevin on the almost double of the amount of laps older tyres and on hards as well. It's been a strong fight for both of them to get here though. Bonnie Clad up 1 position from P5, Kevin up 4 from P7, Boggy up 4 from P9, Connor up 4 from P11 to P7, and M&T Rocker up 1 right now into P9. Bada down 2 places and Larsh down 4. Larsh has really been unlucky this race, but so far it's looking like it's going to be, well, so far I'd say Kevin's going to be my driver of the day with how good his performance has been so far. But potentially, if Bonnie gets this here, we do only have 6 more laps to go. It has just clicked over because that is how much of a gap Mr. Silence has. He has 17 seconds over his teammate in P2. What a dominant gap. If any of the directors or anything like that are watching, I definitely recommend moving him up to tier 3 if there's a free space, because my god, this man has got some pace. Ramming a little bit of grass on that apex there. Ooh, talking about pace, Boggy with a fast lap with a 124.243. Let's have a wee look at his tyres. I'm not really seeing any severe blistering. There's obviously a blistered patch, but it's not actually too huge. I think he may actually be fine here. He did not look like he was struggling with tyre wear on those softs. So he may have a setup just orientated towards that. He's obviously struggling a little bit with the wear with something like that, but he does have the window if he needs it. An interesting strategy though if he can make this work, but I think it may actually be risking puncture near the end here. I think he may be playing some high-speed roulette, which could see Kevin getting P2 in this race. Just have to wait and see. Back on board with Bonnie over here. Ooh, who's decided to take the Mr. Silence line. That was not very closing in there, Bonnie. The commentator curse. God, I love it. Kevin, 3-second time penalty. Oh, you're doing so well, mate. Didn't have one yet. Ooh, and he's off into the grass. Just about everybody's struggling with tyre wear at this point in the race. It's now only Larsh and Mr. Silence who don't have a penalty. And of course Isolate, but I'm not quite sure he's in contention at this point. God, couldn't be any more social distance as they tried. Close people are Bonnie and Kevin here. They're a bit lonely. It's going to be very interesting to see Boggy though, because if Boggy can get some pace out of the bag here, is he burning every bit of overtake he has to try and close in, he could have a podium. He has to be so fast in these last 3 laps though. But if those two keep making mistakes in front and he can get there. Fast lap was a 1:24.243 by Boggy, I believe. Let's check. Yeah, Boggy was the 1:24.243. It was set about 3 or 4 laps ago, I believe. Oh, Edmonton Trocker, 3-second time penalty. Boggy, you've got to stop doing that if you want to close back in. Looks like Mr. Silence is coming up to lock it. Lap M&T Trocker here in P9. Shame. Good getting it away from M&T Trocker there, making sure he had a nice clear run. Even gave him DRS for his troubles. How kind. Kevin seems to be holding the gap to Bonnie strong so far, not really changing too much. Bonnie in nameplate range now, but he's going to be having to do something pretty severe in these last 2 laps to get something done. Ooh, that was close, Bonnie. He will have DRS down this straight. Ooh, scraping the wall almost there. Close. Boggy, 3-second time penalty, that's going to harm his race severely. He is closing in here. You can hear him just in the background, seeing in the back of every shot there. He's getting close. And as soon as they start fighting, if they do, he is going to have to be immediately on it and jumping at every opportunity he's given. Is he going to try and make the run work here? He's directly on the back of Kevin here, but just doesn't have the speed. He can try around here, hopefully with a good exit. Wide line though. He didn't get that good exit he needs. Ooh, grabbing the grass and grabbing it again. This is going to leave Bonnie weak to Boggy here, and if Bonnie's weak to Boggy, it should give Kevin the chance to absolutely just run away and take this P3 for himself. Don't want to sound biased, but as a Haas driver myself, I am supporting the fellow Haas. crossing that exit there from Bonnie. Boggy directly behind. It's all gonna be down to Kevin defending here. Boggy losing it there, not expecting the slow speed and just going straight into the grass. It's gonna be a 2-horse battle here now. He's blocked for the first DRS zone. Bonnie's still behind. He's covered for the second DRS zone. He's not gonna make it stick. He's got one more DRS zone. He's ran wide on the curb. It's another penalty. He's tried going up the inside and it didn't work, and he's got a penalty for it. I think this is Bonnie's chances down the drain. I think this may actually give P4 to Boggy here. The person without a penalty being Mr. Silence in P1. About to come across the line for the win. What a drive from Mr. Silence. Bonnie, even with penalties, trying to find every gap by, but Kevin just blocking him at every opportunity. Very calm, composed, defensive driving here. Not letting him have an inch on any side of him. Nearly touching. He might as well have pushed Kevin around that corner for how close they were. That's going to be a 1-2-3 finish there. Johnny P2, Kevin P3, Bonnie P4, Boggy P5, MT Trocker P9, Bada P10. It's going to be Temi with a good drive to P6. It's going to be Larsh, P7, and Connor, P8. Solid comeback drive from Connor there. It was a good effort. But there's no doubt. Nah, I don't agree with the game on that one. No doubt Kevin's my driver of the day. That was a great drive for his first race in SRL as well. Exactly what you want to see from drivers, just immediately on it and there. And cracking drive from both the Red Bulls as well, but it's got to go to the Canadian. Well, that was one hell of an interesting race, and thank you for joining me. There's your grid and all the finishers on it. Yeah, hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Ta-ta.